بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today I have another reaction video. In this reaction video, I am going to be reacting to a video from Muslim convert stories. This is the best dawah channel that you can count on. Please subscribe to this channel also, and please support this channel. This channel is the best channel of Muslim convert stories. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's get to this video. And the video title says, politicians are angry that churches are becoming a mosque. So the churches are sold out to switch to mosques. So let's get to this video since I haven't watched the entire video. And let's get to the video and see the details and explanation of the video. Let's get to it.
Christian places of worship are being converted into vibrant masjids. And this is making a lot of people angry.
Behöver också börja konfiskera och riva moskébyggnader där det sprids antidemokratisk, antisvensk, homofob, antisemitisk propaganda eller allmän desinformation om det svenska samhället. Lagstiftningen måste ses över.
For centuries, Christianity was the dominant religion in Europe. Churches stood as symbols of faith and community, shaping the social fabric of towns and cities alike. But what happens when an entire civilization cuts its ties with religion, completely remodeling it every century to fit the current agenda, and abandons places of worship? Well, those who care about God and are growing in number every year take over those places all around the world.
Again, a former Catholic church in Buffalo getting a makeover now. It will be turned into a mosque.
We have 6 churches in Vierzon in all, but the number of residents has gone from 35,000 to 27,000. And the number of practicing Catholics has sharply declined in the last 3 decades. This church was consecrated in 1955, but we don't need it anymore, so we want to sell it.
They found a prospective buyer right away. The local Muslim community needed a place to worship.
The skyline in this inner-city neighborhood of Syracuse, New York, is pierced by the spires of a red brick building, crescents having replaced crosses, staring toward the heavens. This building is now known as Masjid Isa ibn Maryam, or the Mosque of Jesus, son of Mary.
Over the past few decades, Europe has witnessed a significant shift. Immigrants from Muslim-majority countries have made their homes here, bringing with them their faith and traditions. But in addition, many European natives keep converting to Islam en masse. As Muslim communities grew, so did the need for spaces to practice their faith openly. Many turned to existing structures, transforming them into mosques. The only thing they did was transform an empty place of worship to one where the name of God is remembered and where prayer is conducted 5 times a day. But for those who despise Islam, like the European far right, it is not only a recognition of how Christianity as a faith is dying and Islam is growing constantly, but also a reminder that Islam is not going away. And the same politicians claiming to defend Christianity were not saying anything when these churches were empty, with their tenants unable to pay the bills. The truth is that despite their fake outrage, they don't care about the worship of God and would rather see churches become nests for rats and pigeons than a place of true monotheism. We, of course, still remember when the Pope expressed grief over the Hagia Sophia reverting to a masjid after a century of being forcefully turned into a museum by murderous secularists, shouldn't a man of God be happy to see his Lord and Creator be worshipped? And unfortunately, hate preachers with a large following, like the Swedish Jimmy Åkesson and those like him around the world, even have an impact on the masses, to the point where when an empty church turns into a mosque, Muslims are far from welcome, and even non-Muslim neighbors are involved.
Richard Kazmierski received this disturbing letter. Among some of the claims on it, that the Quran says to make war on the infidels living in your neighborhood.
The possibility that a French church could become a mosque made headlines in the French conservative media and triggered outrage. Muslims were suddenly reviled on internet forums for expropriating Christian space. They're collecting donations to buy the building. Their motto, Stop the Mosque, makes their position clear.
Ce qui nous gêne beaucoup, c'est qu'une église devienne une mosquée. Ça nous gêne plus. Pourquoi?
We're opposed to converting the church into a mosque. Christenings, weddings, and funerals were once held there. Now that's all going to be wiped away. The church will be something else entirely. We've gathered thousands of signatures from all over France and from Canada and Switzerland. Some people even send money. Most say, bravo, keep it up.
One of the main arguments against the conversion of churches into mosques is the concern for the preservation of European culture and heritage, particularly in highly Catholic regions of southern Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. Bishop Egon Capillari of Graz, Austria, for example, stated that Muslims should not build mosques that dominate the skylines in countries like Austria. He and other far-right supporters view Islam as a competitive force to their Catholic roots and fear the rise of Eurabia. But there lies the whole point. The very people who disgrace Muslims and claim to be defending Europe would not even be looked at by the Europeans of the past, especially the Christians. Indeed, there was a time when Europe was Christian, not only by name and actually religious. Men had values, women dressed appropriately, free mixing was discouraged, and the system of law was based on the Christian Sharia. In sum, everything the far right hates about Islam. And the most hilarious part is that those who call Muslims regressive are the very people who are clinging to their past and using it as an argument against Muslims getting more mosques. Europe is no longer what it used to be and is falling in a downward spiral where all values are abandoned, like its churches. But even for a continent that is currently working against the best interests of Muslims, the light and mercy of Islam can help it regain some dignity. One thing is for sure, Islam is not slowing down either way.
Yeah, brothers and sisters, the video was a very detailed explanation about what's happening in part of Europe, especially in the West. And people don't care about religion and God. Religion and God become a joke where everybody makes a mock, because the only time people will know God is the only time when they get into trouble. Anytime else, nobody cares about God, nobody cares about churches, anything. So the video was well prepared and well made, a video and informational. And yeah, one thing I want to touch today is the crescent on the mosques. I know what the cross on the churches are, but let me touch this crescent on the mosque. During empires, they used this crescent as a symbol for Muslims. So the crescent is not in the Quran or in the Hadith to put on the mosque. It's not like a symbol of religion. Muslims don't have a symbol of religion. We don't put anything on our necks. We don't have any. Muslims should not wear any symbol or anything, symbol, whatever you call it, on their necks or anywhere in their body. Yeah, in Islam, nothing like that. It's not allowed. Anything to show on your neck, on your face, on anywhere, it's not allowed. And tattoo is not allowed. Where some people put tattoo and a cross in their chest, in their back, everywhere. Yeah, that's not exist in Islam. And you cannot put anything that shows that you're a Muslim. Because Islam is internal. Your faith is internal. So you don't have to put anything on your neck, on your wall, or your, like anything. It's not really necessary. It doesn't make you a good Muslim anyway. What makes you a good Muslim, is a piety and good deeds. So brothers and sisters, the video is ended and well explained, well documented. And that's it. I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.